everybody seems to think I poisoned my family when I did not.
Yeah, I just screwed my name.
We open them up
I'm
so
gonna have something interesting against you tomorrow.
You will be waiting.
I pooped in myself.
This is a part 2 to the original Andy Ditch expose. If you want some background, some information as to who Andy Ditch is, some of his lore around him, I would recommend watching the first part before watching this, because this video is going to focus primarily on his descent from freedom to becoming institutionalized. It is basically a quick development over the past 2 months that I'm going to be examining in a sequential order of events that have happened. Basically, I had to sit through over 18 hours of Andy Ditch information, videos, ramblings. I feel like I personally should probably be institutionalized as well. I'd also like to clear up a couple things from the original video. I mentioned that he was called a predator, and I didn't give a lot of background information as to why that was. I kind of alluded to the fact that he had been filming children at his local park and also hung around there frequently. But also, I think it's important to mention that there's a video of him online defending Nova is Online and Chris Chan for their wrongdoings. It doesn't inherently make him one, but that compounded with his weird association with children made people come to that conclusion.
Please do not defend Novius Online. He was caught grooming minors and is a legitimate criminal. I've been digging into this person a little bit further. I saw a police investigation report on this. It was unfounded. One of them, Chris Chan. I believe he's not a sexual offender. I believe he did not sleep with his mother to have incest. I believe maybe he slept with his mother because of his disability. And I believe his mother was not well. And I believe Chris Chan was not getting the supports and services and accommodations like I'm not. That causes his behavior issues.
And we got a phone call from the owner of that house, who was terrified of him.
And she works at the ER at Kenmore Mercy.
And she works at Kenmore Mercy as a nurse practitioner.
I'd also like to state that we know for certain that Andy has not been diagnosed with autism, but instead with schizoaffective disorder, which is basically a disease, a mental disease that primarily affects your mood and behavioral situations. So it explains why he freaks out, why he gets such high energy when these things occur. But no doctor up until this point has diagnosed him with autism, and all of the medical professionals that we'll see throughout this are going to continuously say that he's capable of taking care of himself, yet he chooses not to. Lastly, this is just a little fun tidbit that I guess I didn't really mention initially, but Andy also has a nice little connection to our boy Cyrax. I won't give his full address out, but we know that the street number that Andy lives on is 339, similar to 339 Lloyd Street that Cyrax lives on. It's not hard to find his address. He literally made it public domain on a business that he was operating, but I thought it would be interesting to mention. So without further ado, we're going to go sequentially into some of these elements that lead Andy ending up at a rehab facility. Let's get into it. So we're starting off with some Ring doorbell footage where Andy is basically dropped off by police back to his home from the hospital, and we see that his dad and Joe are cleaning up the front porch, just kind of throwing away some trash that is out there and organizing some things that are currently there.
Yeah, Strong Memorial always treated me better, and they always treat me as a social story. Yeah. But I don't really want to be in the hospital. I want to get crying. I think to get things done. Right. No, looks like that. We got it. Awesome.
Dad mentions that they owe $10,000 to a nursing home, and we find out that his mom has actually been put into said nursing home. I don't know the exact background related to it, but obviously in the previous episode, we understand that his mom had some severe health complications, and I think they were resorting or trying to find something that would probably take care of her better than Andy and the rest of the family could.
Whatever, Andy. Just come on.
Thank you.
These guys are busy.
Yeah, I have Dr.
All right, we'll try.
Elliott appointment on Friday.
Appointment for what?
Dr. Elliott.
Well, good for you. I don't know how you're gonna get there. I gotta work them 2 damn days.
I know. I need that.
Oh, sure, we're gonna spend all kinds of money that we don't have.
Yeah.
Right. I already owe $10,000 to the nursing home.
Back up. Come on. In.
Come on, Joey, cut it out.
Back up, guys.
So while they're cleaning everything outside, his dad is getting continuously frustrated with Andy. He's constantly going to the hospital. He's constantly having police show up to the house. It's kind of understandable that we're at this crossroads that neither one of them really want to interact with each other. Neither one of them really likes each other anymore. Andy resorts to basically calling one of his social workers, and he just sort of goes on this woe is me spiel.
I want to help you.
I'm at the top of the rope. I'm getting ready to hang myself. Can't take any more of this shit.
Dad.
You're an evil person. Hey,
Dad.
put down. Put down. Down. Stop.
Can you help me?
No, I'm not gonna fucking help you. I'm sick of helping you. I'm pissed off.
Okay, thank you, Henry. And that would, Henry, that will really help me a lot with my issues. Then I won't have to do this alone and self-advocate the thing that is what's really frightening me out. And I say that's really causing me a lot of issues because people are sharing me advocating for myself, and I asked my dad to help me at the hospital, to advocate for me at the hospital, to help me tell them what I can and can't do that I need assistance with. And Dad said I wasn't able to come right away and help me, and he told me to go back to the hospital, and I said, I don't want to get hit by a car. And he said, well, why don't you go see your mom? She's right around the corner from me. I said, well, I don't want to cross Maple Road again. So I almost got hit. And the hospital didn't want me there, and I didn't feel comfortable without having somebody there. And I'm glad I have Amherst Police. I like Amherst Police. Every single officer's always been nice and helpful. They helped me calm down. They kept me safe. They did not think it was safe what the Milford Hospital did, and they heard me call my insurance and talk to Jennifer there. Yeah, I'm sorry. A lot of people do care, Henry, and I know it makes your job extremely difficult.
This up by trying to prove that he is helpful in the house because he was told to straighten up the living room, which, in case you forgot, is his bedroom. And so he organized some air freshener cans on the armoire and moved some things out of the walkway. And at the same time, he chooses to take a little stab at his brother Joe, who he thinks is just doing nothing and is just hanging out, being lazy all by himself in his room.
My dad accuses me of wanting to be babied and have my diaper change and have him clean, and I don't do anything around him to help him. So my dad knows that I need help with the organizing and the step-by-step and the problem solving. Because the day before he told me to dust this off, I go doing that. And he tells me what he wants me to do. I find my record player and a bunch of records because he helped me be able to know what to do and how to do the steps that I've been fighting him on to help him.
And because I see my brother sitting around doing nothing while dad cleans, I get yelled at because I want to help my dad out, but he doesn't want to help me with the steps of things, and then I get blamed for making messes and stuff,
The poopy diapers have not disappeared.
and putting stuff away as dad told me to do and showed me. I had a poopy diaper when I was doing that, and because I was hurting a lot and I had trouble where I have a trouble skipping the tasks and stuff and coming back to it, I had help from my diaper to allow me the freedom to continue cleaning.
He continuously is trying to convince everybody that he has autism. It was a reoccurring trend from the original video, but basically he thinks he knows better than everybody else and will continuously try and prove that, but nobody's ever buying that shit. And he basically goes through this whole concoction that one of the ways that he tries to cope with dealing in his life is to go hang out at parks, once again around children, and swing on the swing set. I guess that helps soothe them out, puts them in a comfortable space.
So you're going to see something in a second that I'm going to show you in another video. But I want to show you guys when somebody says, oh, you're faking your autism, the same reason why I rock. I find helpful for me to swing on a swing set. That is why I like going on the swing. It also helps me regulate my emotions. And like I had in school, the OT swing that I had to do, and after the swing, they always put me on the balance boards and the stilts and stuff to help me with the coordination and balance. So that's what I do at the playground after I swing. I go balancing on the balancing board to help me with my coordination and balance like they did in school with me. I get the same effect when riding my bike.
He's also starting to fake new ailments. He's talking about that his shoulder hurts and his back hurts throughout this video, and just several other things. He feels sick, he feels dizzy, he feels X, Y, and Z, whatever it is that day, to try and get the attention back on himself. And at the same time, he's gonna blame his dad and call his dad evil because the state of the house is so dirty and so out of order. And it's no wonder, because we're going to find out here pretty quickly that there are some behind the scenes things with the rest of his family members that aren't great. Obviously, his mom is gone. His brother has to work to try and help support the family. Andy does nothing all day. He literally documents his entire life, very akin to Chris Chan, his buddy, the man who he will defend to his dying breath, because he is just constantly uploading hours and hours of footage. He's recording everything he does. He writes down everything that happens. He is one of the most documented people I've ever come across.
I'm having a hard time sleeping because, one, I'm scared because the way I'm feeling. I'm not feeling good. I'm dizzy and it's not normal and I don't like the way it feels and I don't know why and I'm scared because of it. And it's causing me sensory overload. My back is bothering me and I have leg issues with that, and the nerve pain and numbness is adding to the sensory overload. And not understanding why I can't get help I need, and the way dad treats me makes me kind of like having trouble sleeping because of all this. Dad thinks I'm out to get him and take advantage of him and don't care about him. But I saw my brother Joe standing around doing nothing while Dad was cleaning the front porch and cleaning up inside the house while I was at Fillmore Suburban Hospital, because Dad is upset and scared that everybody's making him look like he's abuser and neglectful because of the living conditions. Dad was called out by the police, the fire department, and APS for it. Like when ECMC and jails had autism and intellectual disability, and I only knew about the autism, APS fought me on it and refused to accept it. and said I don't have autism, I'm faking, this other shit. The problem is, I got my medical records and showed them, and I found an intellectual disability on there too, and APS discharged me and mistreated me and neglected my medical care and diaper issues and caused the skin issues, and nobody wants to accept this shit that people do, so I record it and hold them accountable is my only way to show that I'm not a liar, I'm not making this shit up, and nobody likes it.
Speaking of documentation, a reoccurring theme will be that he really likes to record phone calls, especially with his social workers or hospital employees or state employees, etc. And he basically will just try and tell everybody that they're just abusing him. They're just not trying to help him get any help. He's just stuck in this despair because nobody's looking out for him.
Cannot take care of myself. I need help. And the hospital put me in danger by allowing me to run away, and I almost got hit by a car.
You ran away, but they put you in danger because you ran away.
I panicked. I didn't think about my safety because I need help. So both my dad and me did not feel it was safe for me just staying at the hospital while I waited for Dad. So Dad's original plans was to send me to Elderwood to be with my mom while I waited. But Elderwood said because I don't have ability to take care of myself, they don't have someone to help me, and I'm not their patient, that they had to come back. Or go to the police department and have them help me with finding a safe place.
He even goes to the extent of fabricating a story against his probably primary social worker, at least the one that I feel like he interacted with the most through what I've seen, by a man named Henry. And he basically tries to say that he's encouraging Andy to go and sleep on the streets and run away from people and be homeless, just like completely manipulative, narcissistic behavior.
Say something. I'm assuming you're recording this for your own records. Henry Hefner has never told you to sleep on the street or in a snowbank.
No, you have not.
And yet you said that 3 different times on
In
various
email.
voice messages.
In an email. Yeah.
And voice messages, I heard them today,
Yeah.
where you said that I was telling you that you should sleep in a snowbank.
I know.
I have never said that. Henry Hefner has never said that you should sleep in a snowbank. Your friend, Doug, and I don't know Doug, so I'm only referring to him as your friend,
Yeah.
Doug, at Western New York Independent Living Center, that is exactly what Western New York Independent Living Center does. They help people develop skills for independence.
I have a low average IQ of 87, and Dr. Sam Maria in school says that. And I have a language level of a 12-year-old according to Buffalo Speech, and I have auditory processing, visual processing issue, and it's part of my autism, and you're expecting me to be able to understand and process what's happening around me.
We get a quick little glimpse of the current state of the house. It's very similar to what I remember, but obviously things are only going to slowly deteriorate because of how little help and support his parents get from their children. Now, I'm not excusing really anything that they do because it's all just kind of a combination of a shit show between everybody. But we also get to see his computer setup, which I think is intriguing because I don't know if it's always been set up like this right next to the kitchen table, but he's got like a dual monitor setup and a whole PC. I will never understand why his parents have not just completely trashed all of his internet connected devices, allowing him to try and paint this story that his family is evil and wicked and is out to get him while they have power to try and stop it is confusing to me.
I got computer work now. And then I can go over here to my computer. I have a video I want to share with people. And then let's grab my stuffed animal, my weighted stuffed animal, and my water, and my tablet.
because I have some things I need to work on, and then I am free to play chess, go to have virtual chess because my church person is sick.
He also starts coping about the event where his mom fell on the ground and his dad was trying to help her back up while he sat in his reclining chair just fucking harassing them the entire time by saying that he needed her consent in order to come over and help her up. Yeah, and she has a back issue. She just struggles, guys. You don't get it. Why would I do anything to try and help? She has to tell me directly as to what she needs. As my dad is struggling because he has a back problem and the rest of his body is destroyed and his mother is elderly. Yeah, I'll just stay sitting there. And whenever somebody calls me out for it, I'll say, you guys are just being mean to me, trolls.
Pause. You guys claim that I refuse to take care of my mom when she falls on the floor. She has a back injury, guys. You can't move the person when they have a back injury. I was trained this at age 13 in the autism classroom during summer school. Before I can help my mom up, I need my mom's permission. She tells me no. See what I'm trying to get at? You guys say that I just leave her on the floor. But, actually, I don't just leave my mom on the floor. I'm doing exactly what I'm told to do and been trained.
He also mentions that he's been trying to go through the Office of Disabilities for New York State in order to get new aides to help him out and to potentially maybe be able to go to a living assisted facility. But he mentions that they need an autism diagnosis in order to get this ball rolling, which obviously he doesn't have. As I mentioned, he has schizoaffective disorder, and that, according to all the doctors that are continuously doing tests on him, does not give him this desire to be babied that he so desperately is seeking.
I have that proof. I have that letter. Idiots. Let's just show you. Just to shut you guys the fuck up. Who bully me. This is what OPWDD needs for me to get reconnected. Not one fucking doctor has done this. Can you blame me for asking a doctor? Dr. Naylor, Dr. Keffer, Dr. Santa Maria, Dr. At Suburban Adult Services. Can you blame me for asking for that help? No. This says I had autism as a diagnosis as a child. But OPWDD needs to have a report stating I have autism. Seriously, all those times, all those visits, wouldn't I have symptoms of schizophrenia? Wouldn't they have picked it up by now? I'm 38 years old. I'm not on mental health medications to treat schizophrenia, bipolar, or mood disorders, or even anxiety, technically. So why would I be not diagnosed with schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder?
He's become very vindictive and conceited. He is constantly looking out for his own best interest. His own self-centered ego takes over at all times. And he just is like, he's given off these weird vibes in these more recent videos where I feel like he is intentionally going after people just to try and spark something out of them. It's just a really fucked up.
By the way, did you see this? I pooped myself. I was 8 years old. I'm in diapers. Am I lying about that, Dad? Am I lying about that poop squash? Am I lying about that diaper deviant? Am I lying about that trash panda? You guys try to say that I'm faking my autism, and here are some symptoms of autism in this report that were talked about, but ignored, flat out ignored. They looked for PTSD, they couldn't find it. They had me who didn't know what a nightmare was or what they were looking for at age 8, who said I had these nightmares and this and that. But reality is, I had no idea what I was saying yes to.
He has a phone call with his dad where he's discussing alternative locations that might be able to potentially help him. When he's talking to him, they're talking about how Andy really only ever goes to the hospital in order to just chillax and receive some attention that he so desperately craves that occasionally his family won't give in to and won't play along with him. Therefore, he has to go ruin somebody else's day by dancing around and masquerading like that. It's really, really grotesque.
Well, then they shouldn't be doing what they've been doing with me, right? I need help. They just can't put someone in danger.
Andy, you can always have a choice like them and go somewhere else.
Well, what other options are there? All the hospitals in Buffalo refuse to help me, and they mistreat me.
Well, you didn't try all of them. You had
I have.
St. Mary's. You've had Mercy Hospital. I don't know where there's. I think there's one in Springfield. So we have other areas around here.
I could go back to Strong Memorial.
That's ridiculous.
Well, if I could go to Springfield, I might as well go to Strong Memorial where I had
Springfield's only a little ways off. Looked like when you last
Oh,
in the hospital, you were having a party, had your feet up and watching the hockey game and enjoying it. Well, people go to the hospital, they don't go and watch TV to enjoy their stitches or whatever.
No, they don't. I wasn't there enjoying it. What, you think I want to be in the hospital? Do you not realize I'd rather be...
If you realize while you were in, maybe you weren't like that all along.
I was calm because I was getting... Because I wasn't...
Should have shown them some of the outbursts and stuff you had. Maybe that would have helped and gave them an idea of what they were up against and what they were treating.
Well, I had issues on my discharge. But I don't have outbursts? Do you even watch my YouTube video?
It's not the way I meant it. So just drop it.
Well, what did you mean by it?
Forget it.
I have difficulty.
He also can't get SSI if he makes too much money. I don't know where his other income streams are coming from. I don't know if YouTube pays him necessarily, but he's saying that in case he doesn't make enough money, that's why he can't go somewhere else, because SSI will be cut off. I don't know the validity of all that.
But the problem will become I make almost $1,000 a month before any deductions and anything. And guess what? That already puts me at a limit where I'm not going to get SSI. That makes it where I'm not going to get help.
In case you're still worried, he is still doing diaper tutorials, which luckily for you I'll spare you from, but I do want to note that they still exist. He's still talking about the absorbency, which one's best, what size he needs, the whole shebang.
I have a video I want to share with you. These are 2 water bottles of 16.9 fluid ounces. And I have some yellow food coloring. And in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how and why a diaper is difficult for me to feel when I'm wet.
So his brother Joe has a channel, which I mentioned previously, where he basically just documents a bunch of things that Andy is up to. He also has an interest in drones. Those are his 2 hobbies on his channel. Andy's freakouts and drone videos. It's fucking epic. But basically, he documents this recent time where Andy is going absolutely ballistic, and they both call the cops to resolve this dispute between the two. Andy is tearing up soiled diapers inside of the car, and it also makes me wonder why his dad and why his brother continue to allow him to ride in the car. I feel like that should have been nixed a long time ago. You want to go somewhere? Cool. Call the police to drive you, or get on the bus, or walk your ass somewhere. I'm not driving you anymore. It would drive me insane, because it's also very dangerous, because he's freaking out. He's trying to get people to stop when they're driving. It's just like a complete wreck. When the police arrive, it all sort of just gets resolved, and Joe tells Andy to go kick rocks and go somewhere else and leave him alone, and we just see him wander away. But don't worry, he's going to try and make everybody feel sorry for him by saying, well, I'm going to go get run over by a car since nobody wants to come and help me. It's tiresome. It's really tiresome. I think that's the easiest word to describe watching large amounts of Andy Ditch content.
Recording because my brother is out of control ever since going to his doctor, not getting the diagnosis or the treatment he wanted. Out of control, especially after Pat from Horizons tried to tell my brother that schizoaffective disorder, you don't have to have delusions or hallucinations, and he disregarded that. Trying to tell him that he's mentally unstable right now, but he refuses to get out of my dad's truck, ripping up his soiled diapers and throwing it on the driver's seat.
Alright. You want to take a seat in the vehicle then? We'll just get you guys separated and we'll talk.
I can't sit there because he threw his soiled diapers on this driver's seat.
Oh, okay.
That was one of the reasons my dad actually doesn't want him in the vehicle.
Oh, so it's not your vehicle, it's your father's?
Right, because my dad's
Gotcha.
actually over there, and I had to take him to his appointment in Buffalo. I can't help him. I gotta avoid this for my sake and his sake. We don't get along. So I can't give him my brother any more rides. I can't help him.
Still get diaper updates, peeing and pissing and shitting and quitting. The whole story about Andy gets told throughout this saga. And he talks about how his wake-up routine, I guess, is weird because for some reason he can't be woken up by a phone alarm or any other alarms he sets. He has to be woken up by either his dogs or his family, and he's so grateful that they wake him up because deep down inside it makes him feel babied. It makes him feel like people are focusing their attention on him. They're putting him at the center of their day. What can I do for Andy? How can I help Andy out? It never has reciprocated the other direction.
Now, of course, the dogs did help me wake up, and the dogs did have to go out again. And I remember Dad coming downstairs and letting the dogs out and helping me wake up before that. So the dogs ended up getting out twice in a little while. Hey, they like it. They want to go out. Hey, I let them out. But they also helped me wake up, which was awesome because I needed that help. And guess what? If it wasn't for them waking me up, I probably would have wet my diaper. I probably would have had a poopy diaper too. Thank you, Tucker. Thank you, Chewy. Thank you, Dad, for helping me wake up. Because I don't wake up to the alarm. I don't wake up to the lights that turn on automatically with my alarm. And he lies about it. Because he says you're a baby, blah, blah, blah. And then he doesn't want to accept because he abuses me, takes it out on me because I need all this help. But he lies about me so I can't get any help. If he doesn't want to take care of me, he doesn't want me in his house, why don't he tell the truth and get me the help I need instead of fighting me? I'm without capacity and I need assistance.
One of the more mind-bending sagas that happened during this time span is Andy one day, it was around the eclipse, chose to call one of his social workers 7 times in a row and complain over and over and over again. Now, what makes this so interesting? I mean, we probably would expect him to be on the phone with somebody nonstop, considering how much he documents everything. Well, he knows that this social worker took a vacation day to go enjoy the eclipse that happened. So, when she comes back into the office, she's going to see probably over an hour's worth of audio calls from Andy just complaining and crying. Nothing urgent. It's just him saying the same old shit that he always does. It is insane to think, because I was laughing, I guess, while it was happening, because the voicemail inbox basically limits up to 3 to 4 minutes. So he would call, it would say, all right, inbox is over, goodbye, and then he calls right back and just picks up where he fucking left off. Fucking insane.
Thank you for calling Erie County Department of Social Services. You have reached the...
Hey, Milani, Andy DitchCon. I know you're not in. I know the solar eclipse happened, and I know that you didn't work because of that, probably. But hey, it was a nice solar eclipse. I just want to let you know. But hey, this is work, not fun. So I need you to help me with this. So I am calling because I'm very frustrated. I'm doing a YouTube video, and I'm going to record everything. Everybody's going to get recorded from this point on. Sorry for leaving another voicemail, such a detailed voicemail, the first one. You guys ignore me. You guys exclude me from the same services that help other people who are being neglected and who are being abused, who are in an unsafe situation to their health and well-being. And yeah, that should be a lawsuit against you guys, but I don't have a say because my dad doesn't want to help me with that.
Calling Erie County Department of...
So I'm sorry, I'm upset, but you should be upset with yourself too, because you're part of the problem. And you're blaming everybody else and denying me help because you don't want to accept the things that I'm pointing out here.
Calling Erie County Department...
So anyways, Milani, I'm angry because I'm the one who was asking for help, and I'm being denied help, and I'm getting frustrated because of it.
Reach the maximum length for a recording. To send this message, your message has been sent.
How am I making this shit up? You guys hear this, right? You can't make up medical documents. Of course, you can accuse me that they're fake. Waiting to hear this one.
Thank you for calling your...
So anyways, Milani, because I can't take care of myself, and here's one more voicemail I'm going to do, because it's the last one I'm going to tell you. Pay attention. Okay, Milani, Andy Ditch calling. So, if you didn't listen to my other voicemails and my ranting on this, I'll it's on YouTube, the conversation, since I'm doing a recording. I do gotta call, Milani back.
Thank you for calling Erie County Department.
Hey, Milani, Andy Ditch calling. I can't handle the abuse and neglect by professionals who should be helping me. You know something, Milani? Nobody wants to be yelled at or mistreated, right? And all I ask for is help for accommodations, reminders, and assistance. So why do you, or why does any of my APS workers get so scared of me?
It's no wonder, because with determination like that, I can see why Andy would choose to call out his brother Joe for being a lazy sack of shit all day.
As you put it, Joseph Dick, you just say I just want handouts of people to wipe my fucking butt instead of helping my dad to get me the help I need, as I don't know how to do it. You like to bully me.
You gotta shut up, Andy.
You think I fucking do this on purpose, Joe? You bully me because you think I'm faking all this shit because you don't want to do the fucking anything to help your family.
Andy,
you don't
Andy,
care about yourself,
Andy,
Mom. You just sit up on your fucking computer and getting fat.
You gotta stop. Use your tablet, Andy.
You're a bully. You're a lazy piece of shit.
Andy.
Not me, Joe.
You gotta stop.
You're a lazy shit. I always help Dad. I try to do things. You're laughing at me because I'm say I'm lying? What do you do? I saw the doorbell camera when I came home 2 weeks ago. Dad was the only one cleaning. You were just standing around on your fucking phone doing shit. And here I wanted to help Dad, and Dad didn't want my help.
A brief moment of clarity was this weird video that he uploaded where he speaks very coherently and fluidly, as he basically makes a demand asking for his dad to be arrested for abusing him, and then he will choose to voluntarily give himself up to the hospital. He'll willingly go and do this. I think this is one of the points of brevity that we get out of Andy, that the mask starts to fall off a little bit. He wants the utter destruction and demise to anybody that obstructs him from doing what he wants to do, including his own family, and he will get giddy at the idea of them being vanquished.
I want a document that says Dad's abusing me, neglecting me, and it's not safe to return, by the City Town Police and APS. If I get that, I'll go to the hospital voluntarily. There's no need for a 941. I'll get the autism testing from the hospital and get placement for it. But I'm not going because I don't want to without that document.
During a rant, we actually hear that his dad mentions having artery issues, so he's having heart problems. And Andy decides to follow this up by taunting his father for not doing the things that he wanted to be accomplished.
You know who bullied me online, then.
In my main artery in my heart.
You know who bullies me online. And Henry protects you, allows you to do it to me. You abuse me, that causes me the behavior issues I don't want.
Predictable when he's out of control, what he might do next. Can that help to get in place, or...
Oh, the whole reason why I'm putting that out there, guys, is because Daddy didn't get his fucking way. He lies that and here's admitting him lying. He lied. He got away. He lied. He's against my idea to hold Henry accountable because he doesn't agree with my doctor's diagnosis. He didn't get his way, so I'm running away because Daddy says I don't have autism. He doesn't want me to have autism. That's why he doesn't want to accept that I need his help.
Listen to me all the time. I'm going to say, haha, Daddy, you didn't get your way. Haha, Daddy, you didn't get what you wanted. Haha, Joey, you didn't get what you wanted. You guys didn't get what you wanted, and I had the fucking proof that you don't like because it makes you look like a bully and abusive piece of shit who likes to lie and makes me look like I'm crazy and shit. Haha, you didn't get control. You just got control because I'm mad at you. You just got your fucking way for me being mad at you. For lying. I have the recordings and you're going on YouTube. Haha, so is your underwear shit.
Oh, just leave me alone,
Why
Andy.
you put me down and get mad at
No,
me?
because you want to help and do things. If you don't want to help and do things, you don't have to.
But then I shouldn't be bitched at and you have
Nobody
sensory
bitches
issues.
at you,
You
Andy.
do. I have
Look
recordings
at this
of it.
house that you came back.
There you go again. There you go again. Bitching as I need help. There you go again. You
Knock
just
it
proved
off,
my
Andy.
point. I have the antique.
Yes. Not too good.
My dad's abusing me.
What's going on?
I'm autistic and incompetent.
No, he's got some real mental issues.
Oh yeah, I'm mentally ill. You're right. You didn't get your way. Wah wah wah. Didn't get my way. Wah wah wah. Go to Andy's Autism Life Story YouTube channel. You can see it for yourself. Matter of fact, sir, I can show you on YouTube right now what Dad does to me.
Hey, idiot! Back off!
Even to the point of sounding super giddy and happy to try and coerce or goad his dad into abusing him, into slapping him, into hitting him, so that he can call the police, have his dad removed, and then he'll get to fly scot-free through life and his family won't affect him any longer.
Oh, I got another fucking recording to show you guys. Dad doesn't like what he's doing. Dad doesn't like what he's doing, so he's gonna fucking punch me. I guarantee you. I want him to do that because then the APS will get me out of Dad's house because of his abuse. Cause he didn't get his fucking way.
Earlier about Andy choosing to make these videos to try and get a reaction out of people, I think the time when he goes outside to his dad cleaning his car and tries to get him to buy him a hotel room is a perfect one. He's clearly going out there to try and make his dad upset or angry, and that's exactly what he's gonna get.
Hey YouTube, Andy. So one of my friends that saw one of my videos texted me and told me that I should ask Dad to get me a hotel room. I don't want to be here and I can run away. Hey Dad? Hey Dad, can you get me a hotel room? Dad, I don't want to be here at your house. I want to get a hotel room, please. I did exactly what you told me to do. I'm incompetent. I can't handle my own money. And you don't like it, but oh, wait. Yeah. Can I have a hotel room? A place to stay? Okay, Dad. I don't want to be abused, so I'm going to be sleeping on the sidewalk. And I know you could be arrested for it. Because I have Dad's over being abused. What do you want me to do? If you want to help me, why aren't you following the orders that my doctors say?
Here we go again.
Dad, my doctors say I need that help.
You don't have doctors. They're all discharging you. You don't see the light.
Why?
You don't see what
Why?
you do. Why they had enough. Once they
Hey,
find
Dad.
out, they're gone.
Hey, Dad.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Dad.
You feel that way.
Hey, Dad. You said to me when I was talking to my caseworker Jennifer that your opinions, that's your opinion, right?
And so is Henry's opinion, but you don't like anybody
else's.
else's
Okay.
opinion. You only like Andy's opinion. Just shut up.
Okay.
Leave me alone. I think you're just in here to get me aggravated.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you do,
You're
Andy.
being
Otherwise,
paranoid.
Go.
You're being paranoid.
I am never being paranoid.
You're being paranoid.
Disgusted with your behavior.
No, you're
And
paranoid.
disrespect for seniors.
No, you're
Living
paranoid.
here off of me and taking advantage by spending
That's
all
a
your freaking money
delusion.
on wastefulness.
That's a delusion.
It isn't a delusion that you bought a ticket for the bus.
No, but I'm
It
not
isn't a
taking
delusion
advantage
that
of you.
Always want to run away.
Well,
and act like a
I
baby.
want to follow your rules, but you're
gotta
not
start
helping
freaking
me.
Growing up, Andy. When you start growing up,
I'm not a
somebody can help.
child.
Yeah, well,
I'm an adult.
Prove it.
I have a disability,
Prove it.
and I don't give you permission to abuse me because I don't know how to follow your rules.
everyone that
I need your help to follow your rules.
inconclusive.
Andy talks about some story about how some lawyer told his dad that they could sue some doctor for malpractice for some reason or another. Based on Andy's history, I choose not to believe that this was actually a story. But Andy responds to his dad agreeing that, yeah, we could have sued somebody for malpractice by mocking his dad's health problems. That's very cool, Andy. You know, your elderly dad who has heart problems and is taking care of the house all by himself. Yeah, just keep on poking at him. Surely that's gonna result in an excellent outcome.
Dr. Elliot told you to get a lawyer for malpractice on the doctor who didn't diagnose me.
Yeah.
Did he?
Oh, big deal, Andy.
Oh, you're admitting it. You're admitting it. You know it.
Big deal, Andy. I can do what I want.
Yeah, but you can't say that I'm refusing help. You're denying me help because you know I can't get a lawyer. I got you on fucking tape admitting it. Oh, YouTube, I got Daddy on tape admitting that Dr. Elliot, my primary and my counselor, wants to sue Sassy for malpractice. Except my doctor's diagnosis of... Daddy's a baby. He's an immature baby. He's a toddler, not me. You don't like it. I have a heart problem and I want to abuse Dandy, so I get to have chest pain and fly a victim. Let's listen to the baby.
I'm running away. My name is Andy Runaway.
You're a retard. You're a fucking whack job. You're a fucking whack job. You're a Looney Tune.
We get another little perfect gem of him going to his brother's room to intentionally annoy him. His brother handles it decently and just grabs the trumpet once again, plays loud noises, makes Andy run away and cry and scream and say everybody's abusing him, everybody's hurting him. And he says, as soon as Joe comes back downstairs, I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna get out of here. And the sad reality of it is his family would be in a much better state if Andy did just disappear and not come back. He's put so much strife on these people. They don't learn and he doesn't learn. It's a symbiotic relationship of just absolute torture.
I could go upstairs to Joe, not to start anything, but to say, hey, baby Joey, want a sucker? You want me to clean your room for you too? Well, I would say, hey Joey, do you want Daddy to clean your room? Hey Joe, do you want Daddy to clean your room too? Is that why you're waiting for Daddy to clean your room and baby you and change your diaper and give you a sucker and a pat on the back? Wah, wah, wah. You didn't get what you wanted. Wah, wah, wah. You're a toddler. Baby, you're a princess. You're a princess. You're the princess. You're the princess.
Wait for me.
That's assault. That's assault because you don't like me doing that.
Filming me in my bedroom.
Okay, but you're not.
So get away from me.
Okay. Well, do you film me in my bedroom?
That's not a bedroom.
It's my bedroom, isn't it? I pay rent here, right? Dad's responsible for my money. There's a rental agreement. You film me and follow me throughout the house, but you don't like me doing it to you?
Get away.
You know it's true, Joe. You know it's true. Wah, wah, wah. This is a public space that I'm right here. I'm in a public space because this is a shared house. And then after this, I'm running away. I'll be waiting for him to come downstairs that I'll have that on recording. I'm not doing it to cause him to stop or tell him to do anything. I'm trying to get him to stop abusing me. I can't take it anymore.
So as you might have expected, Andy's dad ends up in the hospital with heart problems. And somehow Andy embarrassingly brings up the fact that hopefully this opens up his dad's eyes to the abuse that he's been doing to him. And maybe this can make him change his mind and, just start to re-envision what their homestead lifestyle could be. It's just really fucking gross. I said it multiple times, but the amount of manipulation that Andy tries to pull on everybody, and then he thinks that posting this online is going to make the audience sit there and think, yeah, I'm on Andy's side on this situation. Yeah, his dad's dying, he has heart problems, but really this is all about Andy. Why aren't we thinking about Andy? Come on, Andy.
My dad is in the hospital. He's not doing very well. We're going to have to just play it by ear. Dad's in the hospital. We don't know what caused him to fall exactly.
It may be because of the living conditions, but where he fell was not the problem so much of a messy area, but rather just clutter. However, he claims he didn't trip over anything, he just lost his balance and went down. And he fell on one of my mom's oxygen tanks. Getting a freaking vacation, a spa treatment, getting away from all of it. He could rest finally and shut it down for a little bit to recharge, to come back at it strong and forever, going for me. He's still in the hospital. He broke 2 ribs, he punctured a lung, and he's not doing well. His sugars are all over the place, which is what they're concerned about. That's causing this issue. Okay. Long story short is I need to get placement. We need to focus on getting me placed. Other than that, I'm proving a point that I care about my family. And I shouldn't have to go proving it. But I'm the one who needs other people to do things for me and take care of me, and here I'm trying to set an example for my dad.
He follows it up by saying he's in a great mood, probably because all of his enemies are sick or avoiding him. He's accomplished all the narcissistic tasks he's ever set out to accomplish.
Just kidding. It's not one of those days. I'm being a little silly because I'm in a good mood. I'm actually really am in a good mood. Don't ask me why I'm in a good mood. Because I have my mom in the nursing home, right? I have my dad in the hospital. So how is that really a good mood day? I woke up this morning with a dry diaper. Can you believe that? If it wasn't for pooping my diaper during the overnight, I would have been without an issue. I would have just literally not need to have anything. But I pooped my diaper. And I asked my brother Joe, "Hey Joe, did you really smell the poop when you woke me up this morning?" And you know what his answer was? No. How am I not having anxiety? My dad's in the hospital, my mom's in the hospital. I'm not getting the medical care needs and my social needs and basic care needs met. I'll tell you why. I have the outlet. You know what? I go to the Jehovah's Witness people. Okay, well, today I didn't have that. Why not? Well, because the person who picks me up had a family member who died. So now this becomes a barrier.
Dad is gone. He chooses to constantly harass the hospital and police in order for them to come over and give him his medicine or tell him what to do or tell him how to do this or that or go somewhere. And you might be wondering, well, what about Joe? Well, Joe, he has to go work his normal job, and he's also going to visit his mom in the nursing home and his dad in the rehab center. Andy was left alone for a decent amount of time until his dad got discharged, and he chooses to take out all of that vitriol on innocent random people.
So I was sent to the hospital today because I cannot take care of myself. So you don't like it because I brought medical records? If you actually reviewed or ordered assessments, you would find out for your fucking self? Oh yeah! That's the whole point.
March 25th, 2024.
He tries to expose some hospital workers. He claims he can't take his medicine on his own, which is unequivocally false. He chooses to throw them out in the trash and talk about how these people aren't trying to help me out. They're just not doing anything. I need everybody to do everything for me. And if you choose not to try and help me that way, even though a doctor has clinically diagnosed me as being capable of doing everything that I say I can't do, I'm going to cry and complain.
Why am I posted this? Well, this guy right here allowed me to throw away my medications in front of him. The doctor who I just shared with you says I don't need help taking my medicines. I take iron 3 times a day. I cannot do it on my own. I'm supposed to test my blood sugar 3 times a day. I don't know how to do it on my own because of the sensory processing issues. I cannot take my medications properly, which is why I need somebody to medicate me. So I threw them away at the hospital. They say I don't need any help. I don't need any fucking help. I don't get it. I got this person who told me to call crisis services. I did that. I wrote this down. Hey, I've been showing this stuff to you guys. It's getting looked at by people for calling these people out. Hey, I'm homeless technically.
While his dad is still in the hospital, he chooses to call him and just complain and say, the hospital's mistreating me. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna go run away. I need to get out of here. And his dad's like, I can't do anything. I'm in the hospital. Why are you calling me? Call Joe, your brother, and he'll come help you out. He just constantly is trying to make any despair or sadness or feeling of angst that he might have and dispel it on everybody. It's one of the most toxic traits of any normal person that you might encounter. I guess people nowadays call it like trauma dumping. They try and dump all their problems onto somebody else. That's what Andy does all the time. It would be absolutely exhausting to have to deal with this 24/7.
They said I have the capacity, I have a recording, and I'm going to put on YouTube again.
Good for you, Andy. Good for you.
I'm discharged out again without help.
Andy, calm down.
I'm scared. I can't do this on my own.
Leave me alone, Andy. I hurt real bad. Listen, Andy. Joe's coming to get Mom. See Mom. Call in.
I can't. I'm too upset. They're denying me help, and I know they can't do it.
Sure enough, he ends up at the hospital once again, and he gets in a fight with a doctor because he doesn't feel like he's being safely discharged because Joe's working and his mom's not home and whatever. And he intentionally is just trying to make their lives miserable. I don't see it as any other way. He will say, I'm trying to get the treatment that I rightfully deserve. I need it. I need it all the time. Yet he never makes any effort into trying to improve any aspect of his life. And sure, you might sit there and say, Saturated, you're being too harsh. This guy clearly has a mental disorder. He's been diagnosed with one. But it doesn't excuse the shitty things that he does to people. I'm not going to let that slide. Yeah, there are certain instances that you can say, oh, it's okay. But he is certainly on a warpath to try, if somebody stands in his way, I'm going to make your day fucking miserable. I'm going to do my very best to make sure you go home and you're upset. It's just really fucked up, man.
Okay. Okay, where?
To home, honey.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So Melissa's going to take your ID out and we'll get you out of here,
So
okay?
you are able to help me with any services?
Not today, okay? I would probably talk to, do you have a social worker that helps you at home on a regular basis?
I don't, and this is not a safe discharge.
Honey, it is a safe discharge. The social worker said that we discharged you plenty of times and your mom is at home and you have a brother.
No, my mom is at rehab. She's actually
And my brother's not able to help.
in rehab.
Okay.
So,
Well,
you're...
you're pretty high home and you have a brother.
No, my mom is at rehab. She's actually in nursing home, and my dad's in rehab.
Okay.
So,
Well,
you're...
you're pretty high functioning to me. You did an excellent job with your history.
I
and you
don't...
told us about why you're
Yeah,
here,
well...
and you told us about your meds, so...
Well, I'm gonna be making a complaint, because...
That's fine.
Here,
Make a complaint.
here, I have this medicine, right?
Uh-huh.
I can't take it on my own. Why? I need help. I can tell you when I used to take it. It doesn't mean I can take it on my own.
Honey, I'm not gonna argue with you about this, okay?
Here, I can repeat this.
Okay.
I'm not able to do this on my own.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue with you.
I know, you call me a fake.
I did not call you.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you did. If you say I don't need your help, you're calling me a fake. I don't need it.
You're putting me in danger to my health and safety because I cannot take care of myself.
For admission, you can take care of yourself. The social worker said that she's been consulted on your case and that you've been evaluated several times.
I am not able to. I have the medical documentation to support this.
Okay, all right. Well, I was
So
maybe talk to
I'm going to say this. I'm not going back to my dad's house then. Okay? I don't want to go back there. So now you'd rather find somewhere else to put me.
Honey, we're gonna discharge you, okay?
Okay, then I won't just leave out and say I'm on discharge, right?
Yeah.
Then I will leave, and you know I can't cross the streets, and I'll be right back in here.
I'm doing your paperwork.
Oh, no, I'm leaving. You don't have to, I'm leaving. You said I'm discharged. You can deal with the consequences and I will ask you to please have somebody pick up my belongings, because I can't take them with me when I'm running away.
Begun starting the process of contacting other social workers to see if they can help remove him from the house. Basically, they go through this whole rigmarole that they say, we can't really have somebody come and evaluate you because we've seen the state of your house and it's a health violation and we can't let people go and do that. So we sort of hit this plateau, I guess, in that avenue.
I was supposed to get OT and speech as well for home care. The whole reason is because I rely on my dad for transportation, and there was a lot of issues of getting to my appointments because of, of the issues with that dad doesn't have the patience and ability to take me everywhere.
So I'll explain it in full. If you are living in an unsafe environment, it's the Department of Health regulation that we can't be in. You expressed multiple times that it wasn't a safe home environment. I saw some evidence of that, but I did report to Henry Hepburn already. I reached out to him.
Because I'm asking for help getting out of Dad's house.
That doesn't stop Andy from starting to look at assisted living. He claims he can't control a job, that his dad controls all of his money. He can't do anything about it. He can't cook. He can't clean. Therefore, he needs somebody to take care of him. That's his explanation.
Here are residential facilities for people with intellectual disabilities. This is what qualifies for somebody who has a developmental disability to live in a group home facility. I'm not able to work. I'm not high functioning. There's nowhere for me to turn to because ERs are not able to help me. Mental health is not able to help me. There's no medical care for me, no mental care for me. I don't have impulse buying, but I have trouble managing my money. I cannot use a stovetop without assistance. Just because I worked at McDonald's and Wendy's does not mean I can't cook. It just means I need assistance. I can do laundry. Allison Carr said I can't do laundry. I'm not able to. She forced me to lie about it. Here. I've always been bowel incontinent. I've always had trouble with feeling the urge to pee and poop. I do not sit in front of a diaper all day.
As I've mentioned before, he thinks that he's smarter than doctors. The hospital is starting to get annoyed because he's using his bear as a crutch, I guess, when he shows up. And Andy claims that they think that he is using the bear as a secret hidden camera in order to film them every day whenever he shows up there. And I don't doubt it because I don't know what the rules are for like HIPAA violations, but I can't imagine Andy Ditch showing up every single day, filming the insides of the hospital, probably other patients, is probably good for HIPAA. So I understand them trying to get rid of that fucking shaboing.
I'm medically diagnosed. We don't have to go into whether I'm right about it or wrong, or whether the doctors who diagnosed me with it are right or wrong. I'm diagnosed. Doug said to me, "Hey, Andy, you have autism and you're different from everybody else with autism or without autism, right? Well, so is your dog different with being without an ear. He's disabled without having an ear. He's like Andy with autism." Because I go sit down to do this, but my back is absolutely killing me. And I can't really cope with my back issue. So when I go into CPEP next time, you have zero excuses to say that there is a biological hazard or there's a recording device in there.
For some reason, he decides to show off all of his meals that he's been cooking recently, including just like a weird slop conglomeration of different eggs. I guess that's what he's best at cooking. But it really just looks eerily like an early 2000s render of food that just didn't have a broad enough color palette, so it just kind of washes everything out. Just kind of weird looking.
Well, let's visit that. So here is something. I don't know what this is. Don't ask me what this was. Dad helped me cook this too. This is scrambled eggs. Here is, I don't know if this is grilled cheese or what, but this is a sandwich. Here's another scrambled egg dish that I did. This looks very independent, doesn't it? Breaking the eggs. I had help cooking it. I'm not lying about that. Here's a hamburger. Okay, here's a microwave dinner that I made with the help of my dad. Okay, I don't know if my dad made this or not. Again, it was not safe for me using the grill, but I had help doing it so I didn't burn myself, start a fire, or get seriously hurt.
He also starts to go over his history of where he has been sleeping, basically, I guess at all times throughout his life. And this includes him keeping a documentation of his victimhood, literally going date by date, year by year, as to where he's been staying, what hotel, what hospital, which home. It's a whole fucking crazy thing. And he starts to talk about his eviction from his prior apartment. I remember the poop wall incident. I think that was in a hotel, but he claims that he was incapable of staying on his own. That's why he was removed. More than likely, like people speculate, it was probably because his family can't afford it. Understandably so, but he says that he was getting enough money from the state, so we probably won't ever really know the true story behind all that.
CPC, parents' house, Connor's home, Brian, an apartment, but only at nighttime. Jail, parents' house, jail, parents' house, jail, Hotel 1, ECMC, Hotel 1. This is the same hotel. This is the University Manor. Sisters, University Manor, Buffalo General, Sisters, because I was sent back and forth between DSS and hospitals. Hotel number 2, this was at the Scottish Manor. Niagara Falls Memorial, Hotel 3, Come of Mercy. This was the Knights Inn, that is the Hotel 3. ECMC, back home, to jail. Hotel number 4, parents' house, community missions. Blood. I could not manage it on my own. That skin infection made blood and pus and stink everywhere. But yet you guys sit here and say, I don't need any help? How can you say that about me? According to this, it says that something about me not paying for and mom and dad not paying for it. Truth was, I could not afford it. Was not correct. Because I had a subsidized living arrangement through Section 8 housing.
He blames Henry once again for becoming endangered because he was discharged or put in a house or whatever. At this point, it's just all the same shit. He promised before that he wouldn't tell lies about Henry, and I guess that just kind of fell through the cracks. At the same time, he talks about how Joe is going to visit his parents and he's going to leave Andy on his own inside the house. And before Joe leaves, he basically tells him, I'm going to destroy my meal, I'm going to catch it on fire, and I'm going to burn the house down. In quotation marks, because he's incapable of doing it. He's obviously doing that to try and make his brother stay at home and cook the meal for him. And then, obviously, he follows it up by saying, well, he cooked the meat and it caught on fire, but it wasn't burnt and it wasn't browned. So he just totally made up that story.
So because Joe and Dad doesn't want to accept I need help crossing streets and all this other shit, Henry Hepner thinks it's okay for me to cross streets and run away and cook and be without assistance. So I was being denied by my brother when I finally got home after almost getting hit by a car, had trouble crossing streets, getting scared because I don't want to get hurt, which is why I called 911 again. And I don't want to get hurt, which is why I called the police to get help because I'm told to. Go home, see Joe in the car, driveway, go inside. I asked Joe, what about lunch? He says, no, you gotta do it yourself. I'm going to see Mom. I said, well, fine, I'll go cook a chicken. I know it's not safe for me. Do you see my point here? Is I'm not the problem. It's the professionals that are the problem here.
Briefly moves on from the idea of assisted living and instead decides he wants to have like an aide come to his house. He also briefly mentions maybe going to the nursing home that his mom's at. Oh god. He even mentions that he wants to get injured so that these workers who aren't able to help him out because he doesn't have any ailments that need to be helped out get in trouble and are held liable for him dying or getting severely hurt. He's just like this masochistic freak. It's just like, promised myself I wouldn't get that angry throughout this video. Promised myself I was just gonna try and document it, but honestly, watching all this shit really infuriated me. It made me think that he's just a complete and total prick.
Andy, I'm going to stop you because it's not that we can't or won't. Those aren't services that we provide.
But that's a 940. But that's self-harm.
And self-care. If you need those services, then you need to look into getting an aid or some other kind of support if you can't do those.
I have no supports for that, right? If I can't take care of my medical care, that's self-harm, right?
No, it's not.
Oh, so you don't.
To getting an aid, Andy, I'm not going to argue with you tonight.
But I have no aids. How can I get that? How can I get that?
You can't talk to your doctor.
How about getting me placement in a nursing home so I'm not in abusive and unsanitary living condition? And I'm going to tell that to my doctor when I go to him. I would love to get hurt or die because I can't get help I need. Because these people who won't help me.
So we get the audio call of the car incident that happened between Andy and Joe and the cops. Basically, it's exactly what we saw. He follows this up by saying that Joe is actually kind of cool, but only because he complimented Andy. And then he goes on to complain that Andy doesn't get complimented enough. He needs more of this treatment from everybody. He's much happier when everybody is his friend and says nice things to him. It's just so vain. So vain.
I'm taking my medical care and I want to go where somewhere safe.
Okay, I'm going to get you help. I want to get you help. I just got to know where you are.
I don't know. He won't pull over.
Can I speak with him a second?
Pull over, then.
Hey, we're on Route 98 heading northwest. We're at,
okay, where are you going? I'm going to have an officer check on you guys now. You call 911.
We're heading towards Orchard Park.
Can you please have them pull over, please?
My brother is having a meltdown.
Yep. Where are you
pull over for the police to help me. Pull over to so the police can help me. I'm asking you to please pull over. I want to go with the damn police.
It'd be best if you just pull over so you
Thank you. He won't be told you to pull over. You're holding me captive.
Very, made me feel really good. He said, "Hi Andy, how are you doing today? Tonight." I said, "Okay, thank you for asking." Why can't he do that all the time with me? He must feel bad about what I'm going through, and actually, maybe he sees what I'm trying to get at with Dad.
Andy and his dad get into a shouting match, It basically is how every other fucking debate goes on in this household. They're shouting back and forth, kind of just alluding to how worthless and abusive Andy is and how he's just trying to take advantage of his dad at any twist and turn he can.
I'm going to put Lauren and Dad's conversation on the fucking internet to embarrass the fuck out of Dad. Dad wants to fucking fight? Fine, I'll fucking fight it. I ain't doing it. You want me to get help? Don't. I'm not doing it because you don't want to accept my diagnosis. You want to say I'm mentally unstable. This is what you get when you want mentally unstable because you like to be right. You're mentally unstable. Fucking control. Oh, he hit me. It's called control, and you're putting fear in me and you don't want to hear the truth. No, you don't want to.
Dad and Joe don't want to hear the truth.
You don't want the truth. You didn't get your fucking way! You didn't get fucking way! You didn't get fucking way! You didn't get fucking way!
Just wanted to include this part as potential speculation as to further proof that Andy is putting on a facade with his whole ailment that he claims he has. I mean, I guess it's not worth my time necessarily bringing it up because doctors have clinically diagnosed him and we know for certain. But I find it a bit odd at how efficient he types and spells because he will write these long-ass fucking novella-style stories to his caseworkers. And he has very few spelling mistakes. He has very few issues typing it out. Now, I've tried to look up information if having autism would prevent somebody from becoming a good typist. I didn't really see that. I saw that potentially people that have like neuro disorders could have issues with the QWERT, spelling on the keyboard. I don't know. I just thought I would bring it up because I always found it odd that he is just sitting there in these 4-hour long videos that he does, just typing away, constantly typing. And I think it's peculiar because it's not just that he can recite something from his mind like eloquently, but also the fact that he's able to delete things that he is either disagreeing with as he's typing or respelling, whatever it is. I find it a bit strange. Maybe I'm just an idiot that doesn't know anything, but I thought I'd bring it up. So we finally reached the point that we've all been waiting for. Andy gets checked into Newfane Rehab Center, where he basically tries to manipulate the staff and twist them to his point of view, which is kind of funny because he posted a like Google review, a Yelp review, whatever it is, talking about how everybody that works there is so kind and friendly and is finally taking care of me. They were changing his diaper and they were doing all the things for him. It's so great. And his tune got changed within a couple days after that. Pretty insane.
They're trying to ignore me instead of work things out with me, and I don't want to be here. They kept on closing the door on me, so YouTube knows. The nurse pushed me. I hurt my back because of that. And I'll keep my teddy bear and shit in the garbage because they say I don't have autism. And they can keep my diapers. I ain't wearing them. Hey, this actually sucks. If I pull a fire alarm, that's a crime. I'm scared of them here now. You guys were right about this place. Every single one of you guys were actually right about this fucking quacked place.
Very quickly, he chooses that he wants to be discharged, but claims that this facility is locked, which is preventing him from leaving and preventing anybody from leaving.
But you say I don't have autism. I would like to please be discharged. Can I be discharged? As I have a right to be discharged, you can't hold me here. So YouTube knows that I'm being mistreated because I have autism. So I'm being mistreated because I have autism, you're saying. I would like to please be discharged. And you're mistreating me because I have autism spectrum disorder and I have the communication challenges, and you're using that against me to say that I don't have autism. I picked up my diapers and threw out my sensory stuff because they said I don't need it. So I'm going to have this on tape And I'm going to get my shoes on, and I'm going to go running away because they think I don't have any rights, and I'll have it all on tape. They say I don't have autism, so let's try it. They're discriminating against me because of they don't want to accept my diagnosis and needs. They have bleach wipes left in the garbage bag, and they should not be doing this to patients when they have cognitive issues and disabilities.
So what does Andy do? He does what Andy always does. He calls the police, and they tell him that he's not allowed to leave. It's basically because he needs to have a medical discharge in order to be sent to like a hospital or something, and that's why he's not allowed to leave. He chooses to then harass everybody that's around him, including asking the officer if the nurse who allegedly pushed and punched and shoved and threw and flipped and sumo wrestled Andy to the ground, if she can get arrested.
I have the sheriffs here. Hey, I'm the victim here. Okay. And I have a witness, and I have the conversation on YouTube.
Okay. I don't really, if the staff doesn't say that you need medical treatment.
I have a right to be seen because I hurt my back because of that. I am here for my back injury, and I feel my back is in a lot of pain, and I like to go. Different hospital, or I will walk out of here.
Well, you can't leave the facility.
I will. Because I'm going to the hospital. I don't want to stay here, please.
Well, you know, if once you leave the hospital, they're probably going to send you back here.
I'm not coming back here. I don't want to be here.
How did you end up here? What happened when they brought you here?
My back. I just told you that.
Okay.
My insurance called me today to say that it was approved for my back.
This rehab center?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, officer, what's her name?
Are you trying to figure this out?
What? Jones, badge ID number, so I can update my Justice Center complaint. What is it? Can you please tell me again?
0173.
Okay, can you write that down for me, please? Well, and I'm aware that this place has a long history of mistreating people with developmental disabilities. And I have that on recording.
Somebody from A-Wing, please call 345, A-Wing 345.
I just got pushed by a medical staff. Feel safe with you now.
Can I show you?
Amanda's over here.
Oh, she didn't. You hung up when Robin answered.
Hey, officer, can I have the nurse arrested, please?
Andy is ultimately discharged from rehab to go to the hospital, but then returns. He then gets discharged, or has the potential to be discharged, because he was trying to break down doors. He calls the cops show up, they sort it all out, he gets his stuff, and he leaves.
That I don't fully understand. What's your name?
My name's Chris.
Chris. My name Andy. On 945 or 941, it's technically like a arrest. There has to be a sheriff that has to be a part of this transfer. It's not only for your safety, but also mine. On that clipboard right there.
You can't be recording people in this building.
But I have it recorded.
You can't be recording people in this building.
Well, then he has to turn off his body camera, which I'm sure he's not going to.
Can we take you to ECMC then, and they'll
I don't
help you
want to
out,
go to
find you, please?
ECMC because they have done the same thing with this hospital.
Well, it seems like you don't have a lot of options.
I
That's
don't.
probably the best option for you.
I want to go to a shelter and let them figure it out because at least give me mission.
It's not
they
their job to
accommodate
figure
me.
it out.
But they said I don't need any help. This facility said it was discharged. Can you have the discharge paperwork for them to see from the facility here?
So they offered for you the ability to be discharged. They didn't force you to be discharged.
Oh, I felt like I was being forced to.
You're not forced to.
You were asked if you wanted to sign out of AMA because you were trying to break through the doors.
No, they are.
Yeah. Because yesterday you broke through my
Yeah,
600
because you
pound
guys.
magnet and broke out of here.
Yeah, because you guys keep changing things. The doctor here feels that these are appropriate medicines. You guys want to take away my diagnosis. You want to make it harder for me to get reconnected to OPW services. When I went to talk to April yesterday, I was not allowed to talk to her. She was not communicating with me. She was ignoring me, like Ashley was. That's what made me go run out.
Where he is now is not super well known. He's an irredeemable, narcissistic piece of shit who has brought nothing but misery and turmoil to everyone he has ever encountered. He should be locked up in a treatment facility indefinitely until he comes to terms with the reality in which he is living in. He does not deserve your sympathy. He knows exactly what he is doing and hopes that he can pull you down into the abyss with him. I'm sure this is not the last Andy Ditch video I will be doing. There's a lot to document, and there's not a ton of people that I see looking into every little crevice, every little piece of information that he uploads, because for the most part, it is extremely mundane. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something new about Andy, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.